Good evening, teacher.
Hey, good evening, Sandra. How are you?
How are you? Fine, thanks.
Okay, nice to know. Okay, I'm good. I'm well. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Sandra, so we are waiting for the rest of the people.
Mhm.
So let's wait 5 minutes to see if they arrive, and then we start, okay?
Okay. Teacher, una pregunta.
Okay, Sandra, so it seems like maybe Christian is having a problem and maybe Carolina as well. So let's start.
Um. Okay, teacher. Well, I see the video.
Okay,
Who is 1 hour ago,
okay,
and I take a note in a piece of paper and well, um, about the video. Yet master strategy. In this lesson, we learn the scoring criteria for yet speaking, the basic of yet speaking part 1, 2, and 3. And for each section, review. Well, in this part, we can see a content, length, a number of questions. The man talk about what do you do if you don't understand the examiner, what to focus on each section, a technique for answering the questions, and how to prepare for each questions. Part 1, familiar topics. In this part, you can talk about home, food, and other
Wait,
topics. Well,
hello.
hello.
hello, Andrea.
Okay, and in part 1, the content is introduction and familiar topics. Length is about 5 minutes, and number of question is about 12. And if you don't understand, the speaker tell us, you have to ask the examiner to repeat the question, and your focus. fluency and getting comfortable. In part two is about the is long term. The content and describe a place, person, a favorite person, object, event, etc. Um, in this part, you have 1 minute to write note, and should speak for 2 minutes if possible. Length or time is 1 minute to create a plan and 2 minutes talking. Well, in part three, um, speaking part, discussion questions. Content in this part is for their question about the part two topic, about people in general, society, and tend to be abstract rather than personal. And the time or length is about 4 or 5 minutes. And number of question depends on the length of the answer. Um, well, the speaker tell us, ask the examiner to rephrase the question if you don't understand, giving complete answer, and use the answer techniques. Is all talk about the video.
Okay, Sandra, thank you. So you really work on the video, you watched the video, you took some notes. So that was very good. Thank you. So
Yeah.
basically, the only thing that I have to say is the pronunciation of the name of the test, which is IELTS.
IELTS.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
But
thanks.
it was great. So thank
And
you.
IELTS.
Lind.
Sorry, can you repeat, Andrea?
And the part where she made mention about Lind, she said Lind. Yeah, but I wanna congratulate you, Sandra, to our mate Sandra too, because I can see that she really prepare and take the time to practice and watch the video. Excellent, Sandra.
Yes, for this class, I showed the video
You apply
very well.
you apply the advices on test 5 that they were saying that we have to check it out the subtitles and try to practice after listen. That's a good exercise.
Thanks.
Okay, Andrea, and how about you? Did you watch the video?
Yeah, of course. I was watching the video.
Okay, so what can you say?
Basically, it was the same as Sandra already said, that we have to be fluency and coherence, take in count the vocabulary, the grammar, the pronunciation, and when we don't understand, we can ask. It was good to know that if we have mistakes or we get nervous, we can also get a good grade. So that's kind of calm for me, because for those kind of tests, like in my case, I get nervous. It's stressful a little bit. And they make some recommendation about be more natural, and they said that we can practice like with any topic and try to talk 3 minutes and 5 minutes or more. That's gonna be a good exercise. for practicing for the test or for the life, because we don't learn any language just for a test, but for the life, for use it in the daily life. So maybe we can try with or with home, family, hobbies, food. They recommend different topics, and really the recommendation are really nice. If we can do it and give it to the practice, we are gonna get a good score, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah, Andrea, you're right. And I was watching, I was observing that you have some coffee in the back, maybe some coffee.
Some
No?
copy. Sorry,
Coffee.
what do you mean about the copy?
I mean that maybe you have some coffee on your back, or maybe chocolate.
Ah, because I'm on the in the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe
Yeah.
a cup of coffee will be great, by this
Okay,
time.
maybe. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay, ladies. So thank you. Yeah, I also watched the video and I wrote some notes. I took some notes, so I'm going to share them with you. I think they are important. So let me share the screen for a minute. Okay. So let's see. So, okay, you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So, well, it's almost the same that you two mentioned. So, as you mentioned it, we have three parts. Part one is about familiar topics or personal topics. In this case, and according to information from the video, probably we are going to have 5 minutes. They mentioned it that maybe there are going to be 12 questions. So the questions are about home, hobbies, family, food, as Andrea and Sandra said. In that video, they had an example. So I have this screenshot from the video, and I think it's important. So that question is about your hometown, which is something about you. It's just about you. And they have some like 4 or 5 questions. And we are going to practice with something very similar to this question in maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Then in part two, they mention it that we are going to see a card, and after that we see the card, probably the examiner is going to give you 1 minute to maybe write down some ideas or to organize something in our mind, in our head, and then we are going to have 2 minutes to talk about that topic. So I also have this screenshot from the video. So as you can see in the example, there is a card, and let's say that the examiner shows you that card and it talks about the journey, and they tell you what you have to say or to mention, or the things you have to go over once you start. So in this case is where you went, how you traveled, why you went on the journey. So we are going to have something very similar in some minutes to practice. And finally, the last part, as you can see, I also have a screenshot. And in this part is very general. So it's about society or people in general. And we are going to have from 4 to 5 minutes. Something important here, and I wrote that part down, is that depends on how much information you give, well, you are going to receive less questions. So it means that if you are very short or you are very quick when you answer, the examiner is going to have more time to ask and ask and ask questions. Now, on the other hand, if you are very expressive and you have a lot of information in your answer, well, you are going to receive less questions. So I think that's a very important point because you need to be very strategic in the moment of having this kind of tests. And that's a good strategy, in my opinion, to have long answers, and that way you are going to avoid receiving a lot of questions. So it can work, in my opinion. Okay, so now I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and we are going to start with the practice. So we are going to start with practice one, which is some basic questions about you. We are going to use from 4 to 5 minutes, and we are going to start with, let me see if I have it here. Yeah, it's here. So as you can see on the screen, we have these questions. This is for part one, and we are going to have 5 minutes to practice this part. So I want to know who wants to start. Okay, we are going to start with hometown. Andrea, you want to go first?
I can try. I don't know.
Yeah, you are going to do it well. Okay, so it's 5 minutes on the clock. Okay, so if we can, we go over studies and over work. Let's see how much we can answer. How many questions?
Okay. Okay. Can I choose or okay? All of those
No,
topics.
I asked the
That's
questions. Okay.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Andrea. So we are going to talk about your hometown. Okay. So what type of place is your hometown?
Okay, so my hometown is one of the oldest places here in my city. Is very calm because I, as already explained, is one of the oldest. So the people, the neighbors are old. So it's very calm. I can know. I already know almost all the persons around where I live. Is very central because we have the two principal avenues and we are close to the malls, to the supermarkets, to some different stores, so it's easy to get any food if maybe I'm hungry or buy something if I need it. So it's very useful and central, so it's a nice place. We have many different parks also. We can go by walking. So if we don't want to get a bus or we don't have money, I can walk. So that is a good thing also.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me use my magical powers. So do you live
Okay.
in Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice to know. Okay, so question. So do you remember your childhood?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
remember.
what
Okay.
how was it?
It was good because in that time it was there were many children, so I used to play until 11 p.m. So I could enjoy a lot.
Okay. So in your opinion, do you think that maybe that place, your hometown, has changed a lot during the last years?
Yeah. When I came back to Colombia, I found that it was they built a bridge close to the Éxito, and it was like an icon, musical icon, and right now it's not. There are more apartments. Actually, they remove one big park, and now there are many apartments. There are many food stores. So wow, it has changed a lot.
Okay, how many years were you in another country?
The last time it was almost 4 years.
Okay, yes, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about your studies, okay? So the first
Okay.
question is, I know you are studying the bachelor in teaching English as a foreign language, but the question is, why did you choose this particular kind of career?
Well, I haven't think before to be a teacher really, but always the person who knew me, who knows me, they always say, "Oh, why don't you work with children? They used to follow you, they like you, they always want to play with you." And I said, "No, I don't want." But when I came back to Colombia, if I didn't find a job, so I applied to a bilingual school, and they gave me the opportunity just because I speak a little bit English. and I was out in a foreign country. So I started to work there, and they trained me, and I started to fall in love with that profession. So they advised me to study, because even if you know anything, you have to, like in this case, we need to get pedagogical strategies to teach the language. So it is why I start to study, and it's really nice to learn more, because my English is like I learning by myself or through my trips, but I want to be better, use most technical words, understand better, and be better teacher, right? So it is why I choose this career, or maybe the career choose me.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was very good. Thank you. So those were 5 minutes on the clock. So it was great. Okay, so Sandra, now it's your turn. Ready?
I'm not ready.
Yeah, don't worry. We are never ready, but life is life. Okay, so first question for you. So we are going to talk about your hometown, okay? What type of place is your hometown?
Well, my hometown is a small city. Um, I live in Acacias Meta, and this place is how is very um, how is tranquilo.
Quiet?
My town is very quiet. Um, and in my hometown, haven't many places. The only places are Principal Park and the place Malecon is a river. In this river, you can enjoy a part to children and swim in the river and enjoy the different foods. Um, Typical food, how you eat sancocho, you eat carne a la llanera, and well, in this moment, you too can enjoy how is Mirador in the part in the how is in the part most tall in my city is on the mountains. There is a place you can enjoy a wonderful wonderful sight vista. Um, well, in my city is how is a city, but is small.
Okay. Yeah, continue.
That's it.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So more questions. Well, so do you live there right now?
repeat the question, please.
Yes. The question is this. Do you live in that place right now?
Yes, I live in in this city.
Okay. So do you think Acacias, your hometown, has changed a lot during the last years?
Yes, because in the last year, Acacias was how is a town, and now in different places build many social project of how is house for people, and build how is I can remember Plaza de Mercado
Oh,
is
okay, me neither. Andrea, how would you say that?
I don't know, the market. When I don't
market.
know, for
Yeah,
example, Sandra, when
market.
I don't know any word in English, I try to replace for one similar word. Okay. So the idea is just to that the other person understand your idea. Don't worry about to that, or don't translate. Don't speak in Spanish. Don't use a Spanish word. Say a different word, but with the same sense. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
You're
that's a very
welcome.
good advice. You're right. Yeah, for
Okay,
example,
well.
in this
Mhm.
case, you can say something like, well, it's a place where you can go and buy vegetables and you can buy meat and you can buy fish. And that way we can understand that you are talking about
Yeah.
that kind of place. But yes, thank you, Andrea. You're right.
Thank you.
Okay, Sandra. So
Um,
don't worry. So we completed the 5 minutes and it was good. Don't worry. It was okay.
okay.
Okay, guys. So now we are going to change to part two. Okay. So according to the video that you watched, part two is about a card, and the examiner is going to show you the card for 1 minute. So you can have 1 minute to think. Maybe if you have a pencil or a pen right now, you can write down some information about that. So you can use that information after that minute finishes, and then you will have 2 minutes to talk about that card. So for example, in this case, we have that card on the screen. So as you can see, it talks about something you own. Okay, so you are the owner of something which is important to you. And the idea is that you talk about where you got that thing, maybe how long you have had that thing or that object, what you use that object for, and finally explain why it is important for you. So that's what we are going to do right now. I'm going to give you 1 minute from now on. Okay, so 1 minute to think about those ideas that you can see on the card, and then I'm going to give you 2 minutes to talk about that thing. Okay, so Sandra, the expression describes something you own is clear for you?
For example, I can talk about my children, my daughters,
Well, it's
or
interesting,
without it.
because it's an object, yeah, and talk about
Maybe
a person.
your computer,
Yeah,
no?
your computer is better, maybe your house or a
Okay.
motorcycle or your cell phone.
Okay.
Okay, okay, guys, sorry, ladies, I'm going to give you 1 minute now. Okay, so if you want to write some information, it's okay. 1 minute. Okay, so we completed 1 minute on the clock. Now we are going to have 2 minutes to talk about that information that you can see on the card. So, Andrea, can you start, please?
It's 1 minute. Oh, right, 1 or 2
2
minutes.
minutes.
Wow. About the
Okay.
car, right?
Yeah.
But car or card?
In this case, it's the card.
Card. CARD?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I understood different. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I understood car. Ah, okay. Well, I got any card, right? Or credit card, debit card.
Oh no. So I'm talking about the card that you can see on the screen. Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah, that's card. But I don't understand what means or what you mean when you're saying task card. Task is when you have to do different activities, right?
Oh, okay, you're right. Yeah, but don't pay attention to that title. So basically, the important part is the information that you can see on that frame, which is describe something you own, which is very important to you. So basically, I want you to talk about that expression,
Okay, 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 okay. Okay, I'm
and
gonna
that's
choose any object. Yeah, 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 I got it. Okay, so uh, some years ago, when I had a trip, actually was my first trip to Texas. I knew a girl who is actually my best friend, and she's from France. And one of my dreams was or is to know Paris and to visit the Eiffel Tower, right? So before to leave, she gave me an Eiffel Tower. It's really small, but I appreciate it because that tower came from Paris, the place where I wanna visit one day. So I have it like more than 6 years ago, and I used to collect different objects from different countries, like coins, and bills, cards, stamps, postcards. So I have it because it's really important for me. Reminds me my first trip when I was in US. So that means a lot for me. Actually, I don't let the people touch it or something. I just to watch it. I don't want that anybody maybe broken or something. No, no, no. So it's very very important for me.
okay. You still have 35 seconds.
35 seconds. Wow. And that Eiffel Tower reminds me that I have to get to come through my dream to visit one day Paris. So it's very important for me.
Yeah, are you saving money for that?
Don't remember me that because one summer I worked the whole summer and I saved that money, but two Mexican friends invite me to visit New York again. Even I already knew New York. I said, okay, let's go again. And the day before I said to send that money to Colombia, I lost my money because I wanted to receive a check and they said no, cash cash or check. But if you receive it in check, they're gonna discount some money, so it's better by in cash. And I said okay, in cash, and I put in an envelope all those bills, $100. It was $100. It was $6,000, and I lost my money. So it is why I couldn't go that summer to Paris. But I'm planning maybe go the next year.
Oh,
Right
I
now,
hope you can do it.
yeah, right now we don't need visa, so it's better. But I was so sad about it.
Yeah, yeah. I am sad, so I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah, I was in shock. I said, really? Okay, why had that happened to me? I didn't believe it because I had $6,000 in my pocket
Yeah,
in an envelope, and later I didn't have anything. But I said, okay, I came without money, I came back without money too, so it's okay.
yeah, yeah. Life continues.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. Okay, Andrea, thank you. So, Sandra, now it's your turn, all right?
Okay.
Okay, so go.
Well, I'm talking about my motorcycle. Um, I bought it with the money I earn in my work. Is very important for me because in it I move around without paying anything. It is important because without in my life would be more complicated. I have been with my motorcycle for 3 years, and it is very essential to carry on my activities. Without it, I couldn't transport myself, and I would have many expenses paying other um, medium of transport. Um, I go it with the sale of a motorcycle and that my parents um, gave me, and pay the other parts with the money how is product of my work. Um, and I don't know the all objects that I have. This object is the more important.
Okay,
Um,
thank you. Those were 2 minutes on the clock. Okay,
okay.
Sandra. Okay, so now we know that the motorcycle is very important for you. And we also know that for Andrea is the trip to France, right? Okay, good. Okay, now we are going to move to part 3. So let me change the web page. So this is part 3. So can you see it on the screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know it's not big enough, but well, that's the biggest, that I can like have that picture right now. But let me tell you, okay, so we have number 2, and it says describe your favorite photograph. Then we have like 4 short questions. First one is where was the photo taken? Number 2 is who took the photo? Number 3 is what can be seen from the photo? And number 4 is explain why it is the favorite photograph for you. Okay, now after that part, if we have more time, then we will have some more questions like how to take a good photo, when do people use cameras, and how can the new technology put cinemas skill advanced. So we are going to start with the first 4 questions, the short questions, and we are going to try to complete maybe 3 or 4 minutes of conversation. So I'm going to ask the question and you answer the question. Then I ask next question, you answer next question. And that way we are going to complete maybe 3 or 4 minutes, okay? So basically that's what we are going to do. So Andrea, would you like to start with me?
Okay.
Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so we are going to talk about your favorite photograph. So, where was that photo taken?
In the Tolimas Theater,
Okay, and who took the photo?
Actually, it was me who took the photo.
So it's a selfie.
Oh, because you mean a photograph of myself, right? I
Well,
choose
maybe.
any photo.
Oh, okay. No, it's any photo. Sorry.
Ah, okay, yeah. So I took that photo. It was me.
Okay. Okay. And what can be seen in that photo?
In that photo, we can see a famous actress and model here in Colombia.
Okay. So can you explain why that photograph is the favorite one for you?
Yeah, is my favorite photograph because I used to help on a website, and it's called Me You Again. And I wanted to be a journalist, and I wanted to know that famous person. It was Carolina Cruz. Mm, but I didn't have any experience about make interviews or make videos or make photos. And I asked to their registration to assist to that event. And they said, okay, Caro, but there is just one room. And I said, okay, so the room is going to be for me. But I didn't expect that I should get into the private room where it was just her and her manager. So as you already know, Carolina Cruz is very tall and short. So I was so nervous about it. And it was very important because even I didn't have the experience, it was a nice experience. In that moment, I didn't have enough memory card on my camera, and I suppose prepared some question for her in few minutes before to get into that room, and I lost them. I didn't know what to ask. I was just watching her, and I asked her, please give me one moment because I lost the question. I don't have memory. It was an embarrassing moment, but at the same time it was good because I could do it even I'm not a journalist and I didn't have any experience to make interviews.
Okay, that was a very interesting story. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so Sandra, ready? Okay, Sandra. So we are going to start with you.
Okay.
So we are going to photograph. So question one is, where was that photo taken?
Well, the photo taken in front of my house, my parents' house.
Okay, who took the photo?
I remember, but I think that this photo was taken by friend.
By a friend, okay.
Yeah.
So what can we see in that photo?
Well, I can see my family complete.
Okay, and no
Um,
more?
well, it's part so difficult because 1 month ago I lost my brother,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and in this photo I can see my family complete. And in this moment, I can how is I can have my family complete.
Okay, so next question is explain why it is a favorite photograph for you, but I guess it's because you can see your complete family in that picture.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not going to ask that question. Okay, so another question right now is, So do you like to take photographs? To take
Um,
pictures?
um, Sometimes, but no, in this moment is rarely um, the moment of in that I take the picture. I don't like really.
Okay. Okay, you don't like to take pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, Sandra, don't worry. That was good. Okay, ladies, so it's 8:50. I know it's still 10 minutes to 9, but well, these questions were supposed to be for 3 people or 4, but as you can see, Christian is not here. So we finished a little bit early, 10 minutes before the time that we were supposed to finish. But well, it's okay. I think we did a good job. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and
Thank
I'm
you.
not going to have you more time here. So have a good night.
Sorry, I have a question because on the video they were talking it was talking about nice collocation. What are
Mm,
collocation?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, collocations are those expressions, or well, yes, they are expressions where you can see 2 words or 3, and that's the only possible way that you can use those 2 words. So, for example, if I'm not wrong, okay, let me think about one of those. I was working on that, last week, but give me a second because right now I want to show you an example, okay?
Ah, okay.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to write something here on the screen. So have you seen the expression heavy rain?
Everyone. Yeah.
Okay, in Spanish we say está lloviendo muy duro.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so probably if we are using a dictionary in English, we would say something like it's raining very hard.
Ah, okay.
So that's what we have in our minds because it's the process of translating sentences and words from Spanish to English using a dictionary. But for foreigners, for people from the States or people who are natives of that language, they would say heavy rain instead of it's raining very hard. So the collocation is that expression that just American people or people who just speak English will use or would use instead of the translation that we have in our minds. Let me give
Ah,
you
okay.
another example. Okay, wait. Okay, so look at this one. So you know that when a person, a girl is rubia in Spanish, we use blonde, right?
Right.
Okay, but maybe using a dictionary, we can say something like this.
beige.
Oh.
This is just an example. It's a crazy example, but let's say that you are looking for something like, oh, cabello claro. So I'm going to write something like beige hair. But the correct collocation, the correct form, according to native speakers, would be blonde hair.
Ah, okay.
So
Like ginger's hair too?
yeah, that's right. Okay, let me
In this
show.
course, there is a quiz about collocations.
Ah,
In
yeah?
English conversation?
Yes.
Oh Lord. Okay, those are
Later?
difficult.
Wow. We have phrasal verbs and it's difficult too.
Yes.
I
And
hate
Ah,
phrasal.
collocation
yeah.
is too confused. Very confused.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, they are very confusing. Okay, let me. let me show another one to you, because they are important. You know, when you can use collocations the way they should be, you sound more natural.
Ah, okay. So we gotta make a list and try to use them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me see. I have more here. Well, these are very important, you know. So as you can see, there is always a difference between make and do, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, for people who don't speak English and they are using a dictionary and they want to translate something like, okay, voy a hacer la tarea. So we know that is do your homework, right?
Yeah.
But probably a person with a dictionary could do something like make your homework.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I understood now. Because they like here when the English teacher they say like go to a class, but when I was there they don't used to say that. They used to say get to the class, not go to the
Excellent.
class, something like that. Ah, okay, I got it.
Yeah, that's the collocation. Hey, that's a very good example. Thank you, Andrea.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
get to class. Get to class. No, go to class. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you
Thank
because
you
you
so much.
explaining us.
Oh, no, come on. You are
Yeah.
also an excellent teacher. Okay, ladies, thank you. Have a very good night, and
See you next week.
I see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
Good night.